So today I'm here to make a video response to the video called Team Adalia Bro, I believe. I've been reading the comments in this video, and I've been watching it over and over, trying to fully understand these people's opinions and side of the story, and trying to just figure out where they're coming from, because I have kind of an idea, but to be quite honest, I have no idea. So I'm just going to kind of get started and tell you what I think about it. First of all, I'm not here to defend Sel. Sel can defend himself. If you don't know who Sel is, then you probably don't know what this video is about, and you should do a little bit more research before you think about leaving a comment or saying something in the comments or video responding, because I'm not really biased either way. I'm just trying to see and reach out to see if people have the same opinions that I do, and from the looks of the comment on this video, most people do. So some of the things that were said in this video are awfully hypocritical. For an example, number one would be that the girl starts out saying that Sel is a fat douchebag. Right off the bat, she's like, I want to talk about this fat douchebag, and that's just, that is, and then she goes on to say that Adalia is perfect and beautiful, and that she loves her and all this stuff, even though she doesn't know her, blah, 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 and other things that are unrelated and I really didn't care about. So, then, well, I guess the first thing that happened in this video was they were like, oh my god, we're being exploited, because the mother is videotaping sideways, may I add. There's a tool on YouTube that you can use to turn your video the correct way, so maybe you should use that, because I commented and I was like, your video is sideways, therefore your argument is invalid, because I don't want to watch a sideways video of two hicks totally like getting butthurt about some girl being photoshopped onto Smeagol. That's just not my idea of a fun day. But anyway, so yeah. So I'm not really biased either way, but like I said, I'm not here to defend Sel. He can do it himself. He's a big boy. He can handle himself. So I'm just here to kind of see what everybody else is thinking. After they've said some rude remarks about how Sel's fat, the woman, or the girl goes, you should have yourself photoshopped onto a bathtub because you need to take a bath. And she's like, it's a sore sight to our eyes that we have to see you looking all greasy. You should just take a bath. If someone looks greasy, then they probably already know that. And if someone's fat, I'm sure they already know. I don't think that you need to point out that someone's fat. I mean, people will tell me that I'm fat all the time. Do I know that? Yes. I know that already. Like, I don't need you to tell me that I'm fat, because I know, you know, and I'm sure that Sel knows. He knows, you know. It's just, you can't be on the internet and not have people point out your imperfections. So basing your whole argument off of saying that Sel's fat and all this stuff, you know, that's not okay. Then they also go on to talk about how no one should ever be photoshopped onto something that's not theirs. They're their own person, blah, 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 all this crap. When at the beginning of the video, the girl said that Sel should have himself photoshopped into a bathtub. So I don't know where their logic is on that one, if they have any, which I don't think they do, because if you just talked about how no one should have themselves photoshopped onto something that isn't theirs, then why would you talk about having Sel photoshopped into a bathtub? I can see where they're coming from with that, because mind you, Adalia Rose's face is being photoshopped onto like Smeagol and other unmentionables that are just atrocious and hideous. And being photoshopped into a bathtub necessarily isn't a horrible thing, but the point is still the same. You shouldn't Photoshop onto something that isn't the original photo. You shouldn't, you know, do that. It's not okay. So why would it be okay to do it to Sel when you don't want it to be done to Adalia? Two different concepts, but really they're the same. So I kind of got confused about that one. Now, also, the next thing that they're saying is that you shouldn't make fun of people with disabilities. When later in the video they start talking about someone whose video I haven't seen, and they call him the twitchy nerd. And said twitchy nerd, the girl continues to ask, the question, why do you twitch so much? You need to go to the doctor. You shouldn't twitch so much. You touching your face, touching your eyes, you shouldn't do that. It's how you spread germs, how you get pink eye, blah, blah. This girl is very concerned about personal hygiene when I think that she just needs to take a shower herself and put a fucking bra on. Personally, that's what I think. But, whatever. So, making fun of Adalia for having progeria is equally as wrong as making fun of this person and calling him a twitchy nerd and asking him why he twitches. Maybe he has nervous tics. That cannot be helped. Maybe he has a small, mild case of Tourette's. That also cannot be helped. Just like having progeria cannot be helped, twitching and other kinds of, physical disabilities that he may have cannot be helped, and you shouldn't pick him apart for that. So that's hypocritical point number 2. The mother feels necessary to not be in the video, but to chime in behind the camera every so often. So the daughter is talking about how, the other boy is talking about how Sel is obviously jealous about his mother not exploiting him, that's how he puts it, the way that Adalia is doing, or that Natalie or Natalia, I don't know how to say her name, is doing to Adalia. Well, that doesn't make any sense at all. It doesn't. I wouldn't want to be exploited. If my mother had exploited me, I would not be happy. So I think I know where he was going with that, but he didn't make the point accurately, and he didn't express how he felt accurately. Therefore, it made no sense. It made him look like even more of a fucking idiot. Then the mother chimes in and says, well, let's see what she say. His mother probably had to find a tent and awning place to exploit him on Facebook. A tent and awning? What is that even? What? Like, I don't understand why that was necessary to say. I have made another cut of this video, and I think I'm going to use this one. So excuse me for being a little bit aggravated in this one, but I really have I've watched the video again since I've made the last video, because the last one was way too long. When you're trying to make a point to someone that doing something is not okay and it's not acceptable and it's inappropriate behavior, I would think that you would have the logic and the common sense enough to know that you should not represent all of the things that you're trying to argue against in your argument. Like, they said that making fun of people with disabilities is wrong. However, you made fun of the twitchy guy for being twitchy, which is probably something that he cannot help. Therefore, is a disability. Number 2, they said all of these mean and hurtful things about Sel and about twitchy guy. That's what I'm going to call him, because I don't know who he is. So they said all of these awful things, making references to his weight, making references to how he looks, how he's greasy, how he has no hygiene, when them themselves don't look like the cleanest, most pure people, So if you're going to yell at someone about hygiene, then obviously you need to put on a bra and some good clothes and take a shower and get your hair out of your, out of a ponytail and looking all stringy, and just really realize that everything that you're saying is not a valid point when you're doing the same thing. If I were to come on here and say, Sel, you're fucking fat, I would in turn have to look at myself in the mirror and go, oh my god, I'm fat too. If you're going to yell at him for being greasy, look in the mirror and say, oh wow, I'm greasy too. What? Why was that necessary in your argument? It wasn't. So if that's your only point of defense, then get the fuck off YouTube, first of all, because you do not have a valid argument. You don't. As almost 900 people have disliked your video, I think that you would have the sense enough to realize that everything that you were saying is completely wrong and is not the correct way to go about your issue. So I pretty much said everything I need to say. They said a couple things about how they weren't, like, they didn't know that their behavior was inappropriate because they're atheists and that they need to get their lazy asses up and go to church and all of those things. Well, I will tell you what, I am completely and utterly disgusted to call myself a Christian when I have to know that people like you three are also associated with the same label. I'm absolutely horrified and disgusted that I have to say that. Therefore, I don't tell anyone that I'm a Christian. My relationship with God is my relationship with God. If people don't want to have the same view, then they're not gonna. And by telling someone to get off their lazy ass and go to church is not gonna do any good. So that is another thing that I will not get into, and I think is wrong for them to say, and they should not have brought it up, because if someone wants to be an atheist, they're going to be an atheist, and if they want to be a Christian, they're going to be a Christian. And I cannot explain to you how absolutely disgusted I am that I have to share that role with people like yourselves, because you and so many other people give Christianity such an awful name. And it says in the Bible not to be a mocker and a scoffer, and it says love thy neighbor as your own, forgive them for they do not know what they are doing, all of these beautiful, beautiful phrases in the Bible. And you don't understand the true meaning of it. You just don't. And if you don't by now, and you're that old, however old you may be, you're not gonna. And I think that you should just become, that religion where they don't believe in anything, because you obviously cannot and will not grasp the full idea of what being a Christian really is. So saying that someone needs to go to church is just as bad as me saying that I am disgusted to have to share the same title and role with you that I have to. It's just the same. So I think that the three of you need to go back to church and actually pick up a fucking Bible and read it accurately. And if you need to use translation, do it. Not everyone can read the King James Version. Not everyone, reads the same thing. But it's all the same point. And I'm really sick of all of these Christians giving everyone such an awful, awful name because of the disgusting habits that they have. So that is a totally different video, unrelated, but I just had to throw that out there because that, that's just my reason, because I just had to. So this is the end of my video. A 13-14 minute video is a step up from the 17-18 video that I had last time. So excuse me for being a little heated and more pissed off, but I'm sick of all of this bullshit with Adalia Rose and her mother and all of these people thinking that they need to go on the internet and be moral fags and, try to tear down other people's beliefs and views and try to get people to stop doing things that they want to do just because they don't like it. You're on the internet. No one's going to give a fuck what you say or do. So you can't change what people are doing. You can't control their behavior. So you can try, make as many videos as you want, but it's not going to change anything. That goes for my video too. Some people are going to totally disagree with me. Some people will agree with me and some people won't. Some people will be like, bitch, get the hell off YouTube. That's fine. But just had to throw that out there. So take it with a grain of salt, and yeah. Bye.